The young people like me do not start fish farming with the main belief that there's no capital, there's no money. In fact, a few months ago, I made a video about my observation, and I observed that most of those who venture into fish farming are older people. And one of the outstanding reasons that pop up in that video and in the comments indicated that the youth or the young people do not have money. But is it actually the case? I now beg to differ from my previous position that the youth doesn't have money to venture into fish farming. I don't believe so. Why don't I believe so? The long of the short is that it depends on how you prioritize the money. The other generations, they prioritize investment and they prioritize buying assets instead of liabilities. And they know that venture into fish farming or any other business is a form of investment that will give better results in future. But the youth, no. I'll prove to you that the youth have money. Observe something. The most expensive iPhones are used by the youth. In fact, iPhone 17 Pro Max, iPhone 17 what? All these phones, some of them are above 20,000 Ghana cedis. And how much do you need to start a fish farm? In fact, that money can be used to start 2 to 5 fish ponds. Now, I am not saying that using these phones is not right. But what I'm saying is that you need to prioritize acquiring assets instead of liabilities. This phone, in circumstances, it could be a liability. And in other circumstances, it could be an asset. So you need to assess the need for that iPhone or that expensive phone. And if it's going to be a liability, you leave it, get your simple phone, and invest that money. And the sad thing is that most of these young guys, they upgrade their phone anytime a new phone pops up. Sometimes they even feel that, oh, I've been holding this iPhone for long, I need to change. What's wrong with it? And you are changing. Now, as I said, it could be a liability or it could be an asset. So a situation that it is a liability, leave it. Let me share life experience with you. In fact, I never have interest in using iPhone. I didn't like it. Considering the cost and the fact that with my simple Android phone, I could do almost all what iPhone holder is holding with that expensive. But right now I'm using iPhone SR, just even SR. I'll tell you even why I'm using it. When I started this YouTube journey, teaching people online on how to farm fish. In fact, I was using Samsung A03, that for old type. The video quality was very low. I was having sound problems. Despite that, I didn't see the need to upgrade to iPhone. I wanted to change to another Android phone. But I'm having my cousin, Ibrahim, who is using iPhone for decades. All your phones he uses iPhone. And he has been persuading me to buy iPhone, and I didn't like that idea. Now, he succeeded because one day we wanted to sight moon for Ramadan fasting. As some of us were struggling to see the crescent, the moon up there, most of us were not seeing it. He saw the moon. He used his iPhone XR and snapped the moon and zoomed the moon, and we all saw it. And I saw it was very clear. When I tried to use that my Samsung and take the picture. It wasn't clear. I couldn't see the moon inside. Then I fell in love for that. And I fell in love for it just because of the camera to give me video quality to produce more content. And that is asset. It is investment. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy. In fact, I even asked what I smaller could do. I said yes, iPhone 7 could do, could give me a good camera. So when the first of all I bought iPhone 17 and that was 1500 after that. And believe me, that Samsung that I was using, I've been using that iPhone since 2020. And I bought 1200. I've been using it. Even up to now, it's still there. Now, when we bought iPhone 7, and most of applications I tried to install, and they told me that this iPhone version does not support this app. And these apps, I could not live without them because these apps are aiding me to create my content. So I ran back to him and we had to go top up money and get SR. And since I got it, I noticed that the videos quality improved, sound and everything. And even if you have followed me for long, you will testify that. And it is form of investment because it is true that I get clients to sell to make money. Now, yours is a liability of an asset. If it doesn't bring anything to you, it's a liability. You keep buying data, it's liability. You could get simple phone and it can do whatever that you are doing. You're WhatsApping on distance. And then use that money to invest in fish farming or any other venture. But the youth, we don't want investment. In fact, most of the times we need shortcuts. And that's why you find most of the youth involved in betting and other gambling just to make quick money. Actually, just to give you a disclaimer, fish farming is not quick money scheme. It is investment you have to do. You mature it, you grow it, you manage it to years results. But let me ask you a question. If that iPhone breaks down today, what do you have? Nothing. But if your fish farm breaks down, you still have things you can rely on and revive the farm. And it is investment. So it is not the case. Yes, there are certain people, they're willing to. People like myself and others, yeah, they're willing to, but they don't have. They have genuine concern. But you can't tell me that you don't have that capital when you are keeping most expensive phone. Phone that you can get simple phone and use that money to invest. And you are holding it for nothing. Most especially the girls. They are using anytime there's upgraded iPhone, they have to change. For them, I don't blame them much. Because people like my cousin Ibrahim and Co, they buy for them. For me, I've never bought apart from my wife, even a yam for a girl. For what? So I don't blame them. But even them too, even if someone is giving you such expensive phone, tell the person to use it to set up a fund for you. And to say, oh, investment. But we don't want to do that. So investing in fish farming or any other venture is very, very important. And when it's mature and you start getting more money, you can buy more foods. You can't have capital in your pocket. And you are telling me that you don't have capital to start business or to start fish farming. When you're sitting on capital. I'm using iPhone or phone as example. But not only that, the expensive things that you are keeping, and these expensive things don't give you anything. They are liabilities. They rather consume. Get rid of them. Get simple ones. Those that are not necessary, leave them and invest. And one day you can reap what you sow, and you are going to make more money, buy more phones, do whatever that you want. In fact, some, especially youth, see them riding There's this motorbike, we call it Wedra in the north, very expensive, where they could just get simple bikes and they are just using it for fun. And most of these things, the iPhones, these bikes and what, most of them they are just for social status. Just for them to feel that, oh, they are somebody. When they are hungry, or when we are hungry, I'm inclusive. Because I'm a young guy. You see, I am telling you this for you to understand that you can't sit on money or keep capital on your pocket. You are telling that there's no capital for investment. And you're always complaining. Oh, I need to start business, but there's no money. The iPhone that you are holding, sell that iPhone, buy simple phone, and use that money to invest. You have no excuse. If you have such expensive items, you are telling me that you don't have money to invest. If you invest and the money finally comes through the investment, you can buy more of such. Me, after reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, my mindset about what I buy or what I purchase change. And I now distinct between liability and asset. And anytime that I am buying, I ask myself, is this going to be a liability or is it going to be an asset? So you try as much as possible to minimize the amount of liabilities that you get and increase your assets column. And to cut it short for you, anything that's going to give you more is an asset. But anything that rather drains from you, you pay bills, you buy data, you do that, it rather takes away from you, there is a liability. Liability here doesn't just mean go to bank and take a loan or take a loan and to pay. So please, I'm a young boy like you, and I've seen the effects of our lifestyle, and I want to draw your attention. Please, the older people, they are investing because they know what it is to invest. And even we also know what it is, but we don't want to. And I'm telling you today, go for it. Let's avoid the shortcuts, the gambling, the betting, all these things. It will never help. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to subscribe to this channel, please do so. All these teachers to share fish farm tips based on experience and research. I've set up fish farm for dozens of farmers and I've been training people on fish farming, both physical and online. So if I'm telling you anything about fish farming, it is something that has proven to work for me and others, and I believe it can work for you. So please invest today, and your future will be a brighter one. Thank you very much.